coming to the panel before Nathan Fillion's panel. I was listening backstage. I know what's going on out here, but I don't mind. It's okay. I appreciate it, guys.
So, first thing out of the way. If any of you have not seen the finale, you're in trouble.
You're in the wrong place if you haven't seen the finale.
So you'll have to do earmuffs if we talk about the finale. So I do want to ask you, my first question is anything specific, but you were doing a panel somewhere else before it aired, and you said there were 2 things in the episode, in the finale, that you had never seen before. And I'm curious as to what those 2 things were.
Well, the fight that we did in the tunnel, where we had this big crane shot that was going over an army of Mirakuru soldiers, and we had this City of Heroes trinity of myself with Roy and Sarah and Nissa in the League of Assassins, and just the scale of that fight. I don't think the scale of that fight has ever been done on TV before. And secondarily, the final fight between Manu Bennett and I in the flashbacks, we took the freighter set and they actually cordoned it off and they flooded it. And that was our last day of filming. And again, I've never seen stuff like that on an action scale that's been on TV. And plus, I'm super proud of my show, and I don't care if that's accurate or not.
Well, we don't care either, we just love it. All right, I'm going to ask you to start lining up if you would like. Oh, you're already there. Never mind. Okay, if you want to go ahead and start with our first question, and we'll start right down here.
Hi.
Hi.
So, you know, when Oliver's working out, and I don't know what they're called, these crazy...
The salmon ladder?
Yeah, that. Have you ever done that and missed the next one? And like,
Oh yeah! Big time. Actually, there was a scene this year where there was randomly a big tire in the middle of the aero cave, and I was swinging a sledgehammer at it. And for whatever reason, that day, it was like 42 degrees in the aero cave on the set, or like 200 degrees colder than it is here right now. And I actually did the salmon ladder in between to stay warm, and I missed one, and I pulled a muscle in my neck, and we had to cancel the scene. Well, we got it back, eventually. But yeah, you miss every once in a while. You miss. Not when the camera's rolling, though. Never. Never. All you need to do, this is actually true. Whenever I'm doing a new parkour thing and I can't get it, someone picks up a phone and starts recording. And then I get it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, man.
Hello. So, in the first season, did you have to film all the flashbacks on the island before you filmed the present day scenes?
That's a good question. No, we filmed the island scenes in coordination with the episodes as we go. So we generally speaking, we have what we'll call an island day, or, you know, for season 3, spoiler alert, a Hong Kong day. And I have to get in a little bit early, and I have to put on my horrible wig. And not that it looks bad, but it's a horrible hair. And does it look bad? Guys, shut up. And I also typically have to put on some type of black eye, because I've got the crap kicked out of me on the island at some point. And but no, we shoot those as we go along. Thank you.
Sorry.
Sorry, are you Canadian?
No, I'm actually from Vegas.
Okay.
So, but actually my friend Ebony back in Vegas just became a big fan of yours, and she follows you on Facebook. And I was just wondering, what is it like to have like this huge fandom and all these fans because of Arrow?
It's 2 million people on Facebook. It's really cool. You know, it's cool. I think that maybe coming out, I was actually standing over there watching some of the activities that were happening in between panels, which may have been a mistake because I got a little bit nervous. But it's really cool. John Barrowman told me, we were filming, it was an episode of the first season, I think it was our 9th episode, and he talked to me about the difference between the fan base and the people and how they appreciate your show from the first season to the second season to the third season. I've become good friends with the boys from Supernatural, and they're on their 17th season. And it's really amazing to see it keep growing, because what you see is you see people that were worried that your show was going to suck or it was going to get canceled, and once you get to season 2 and you have season 3, people know, so they get a chance to invest. And it's been really neat to see how the fans have reacted and bonded to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Barry.
Yeah. Hi. First, thanks for being here. I know you don't want to be in Phoenix.
What's wrong with Phoenix? I have no problems with Phoenix.
I mean, weather, and it's 107 degrees outside.
It's not. Yeah, but you're committed.
So we all love Arrow, and CW's coming out with The Flash.
Yeah.
We're all really excited. You're in the trailer, so I think we're all wondering, are you going to be a recurring character in the Flash series?
Well, we have the same executive producers. We have the same writers. We shoot in the same city. You know, I've already been in the trailer. Like I'm in the pilot, which was the coolest thing, because it was like a callback to shooting our pilot. Same director of photography. So I can't imagine that we wouldn't have me cross over, but I haven't seen the scripts yet. Yes. Hi, I liked your Arrow costume, by the way. I was watching.
Thank you. I was just wondering, is the Arrow ready for a young sidekick?
Tell you what, come on up here, let's see how we look together. Okay?
So I was wondering, if you could have been anybody else on the cast of Arrow other than Oliver Queen / Green Arrow, who would you have been?
Deathstroke. I love villains, right? I always get the question, people always come up and say, you know, what other superhero would you like to play? I don't want to play any other superhero, I want to play villains. And I thought that Manu Bennett was phenomenal this year on the show, and I am acutely aware that a superhero show is really only as good as the main villain. You know, the reason that The Dark Knight was so good was because of Heath Ledger as the Joker. And so you need a villain to raise your game. So I would love to play Deathstroke, and then we'll have Manu play Arrow. And it'd be really weird, but it would be fun. Thanks, man. actor.
How are you?
Good.
That's awesome. I was just wondering, what's your favorite weapon of choice? Like, besides...
You mean like personally?
Yeah, personally.
No.
Besides your fist.
I shoot a compound bow on the show now, but I feel like a compound is cheating a little bit. I was out at a spot called Martin Archery in Walla Walla, Washington. I put this video on Facebook, and they gave me this compound that is like, had this weird thing to pull the bow back, and then you removed your finger and you hit a trigger, and I was like, someone should be serving me tea while I'm doing this. I don't feel like I'm doing archery, so my weapon of choice would be a recurve bow.
Okay, yesterday in Manuel's panel, he told us a really awesome / horrible audition story where he accidentally choked out a person. So I'm wondering what your worst audition story is. Or
My worst audition story. Well, this wasn't a bad story in so much as it was. I mean, I had my cell phone go off in an audition once, but I mean, yeah, I didn't get that job. But I actually, my worst audition story for me personally was first of all, I auditioned for Die Hard 5 like 9 times, and that was frustrating. But I flew to New Zealand, and when they decided to carry on with Spartacus after Andy Whitfield got sick, they decided to recast Spartacus. And the final audition in New Zealand was me and Liam McIntyre. And it all worked out. But I actually did a scene with Manu from season 1. They brought him on set. I did a theoretical scene from season 2, and a scene with Manu from season 1, and some other scene, and some sort of weird, crazy fitness test, and there was so much makeup on my body, it was weird, but I left Auckland, New Zealand, thinking that I was going to play Spartacus. I was like, I got it, and I didn't. So that was tough. That was tough, but Liam did a wonderful job, and I was glad they got to carry on that show. Thank you.
Hi.
Hey.
What line from the show has Oliver said that you think is most important for him to grow as a character?
I wish I had gotten that question beforehand. Oh boy.
Do you want me to come back in 10 minutes? Or?
Yeah. Do you mind? You know what? I'm going to think about that for a minute. I'm going to noodle it, and we will have. Just remind me. I'll think. So if anyone else asks questions and it looks like I'm thinking about something else, I am. Good question. Really good question.
What's your name?
Quinn.
Quinn.
Okay. I'll think of it. I'll randomly go, Quinn! And I'll.
I look forward to that.
Thank you.
First of all, I wanted to say your beard looks fantastic.
Thank you. Sure.
My question is, how far would you like to see this show go, and is there an overarching story like already written for the complete series?
Well, it is a good question. When did I lose my ability to speak? Quinn! The show was built to be 5 years, right? I'm under contract for 6, so I would imagine that it won't end at 5 years. But I would like to see the completion of the island storyline and really get to know why Oliver was the way that he was when we found him. And I mean, there's so many cool places that we can take the show. But that being said, it's such a difficult shoot that I can only think about our 47th episode, which is our first episode of season 3. If I think beyond that, I get in big trouble.
Also, you were way too good for Die Hard 5.
No comment.
Hello.
Hey.
I love the show. I love driving other people into the show so they can share my emotional pain, like my family. And my question is, you say you like to do a lot of your own stunts. So what was the hardest stunt they've had you do, or allowed you to do?
In the first episode of our second season, there's this scene where Diggle and Felicity are on the island, and she steps on a landmine, and I'm 60 feet in the air in a tree, right? And they wanted to have my stunt double do it. I was like, are you insane? I want to do this. You're all harnessed up, it's all safe. So I did it, but I swing down, and then they exercise too much caution, and they hit the brakes for some reason. As if after I had swung, I would just close my eyes and not worry about slamming into a tree or something like that. And so when they hit the brakes, the cable actually ripped on my arm a little bit. And I had, if you ever see pictures of me from Comicon last year, it looks like I've been in a huge fight because I have these bruises up and down my bicep. So that was tough. And it was also tough because I was relatively demonstrative when it came to insisting that I did the stunt. And then they actually brought me up in the tree, and I was like, oh, shit. I'm really scared. Pardon me?
Questioning your life choices.
Questioning my life choices. But you know what? It's all the stunts, they get bigger all the time. I'm usually looking for more practical ways to do things, but I love doing the stunts. And to me, there's always an added a quality to the television show when you can tell that the actors are doing the stunts. That's my personal opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Quinn, guys, okay. I don't know if it was the most important line, but I thought that the most important scene from this year was the flashback between Oliver and Moira, where the last flashback, where Oliver learns that he, quote unquote, lost the baby, and to see a different level of emotion from Oliver and him really question himself as to what he would do if he was a dad, and then to see a real sadness in him, excuse me. I thought that was the most important scene and the most important stretch of dialogue. You're welcome. Hey, man.
Are you gonna? Well, what I'm gonna ask you is are you gonna go on American Ninja Warrior? Because my mom showed me a video of you training on the stuff there, on you climbing the wall.
Yeah, I probably should. I should. But I'm hyper competitive and I want to win bad. So. Yeah, I mean, does anyone know anyone at NBC that I can get in touch with? I'll just put it on Twitter. I'll be like, hey, American Ninja Warrior people, hey, let me come on your show. That'd be cool. I'd do it. I would win too, I promise. You look too cute not to ask a couple of questions.
Also, what's the bad guy's name in the season finale?
Deathstroke.
Deathstroke?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Batman's enemy.
Looking less cheap now, I'll tell you that much. Tell you what, if you like some of the enemies that Batman has fought, you're really gonna like season 3.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm bringing greetings from my hometown, Walla Walla.
Walla Walla, Washington.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I have 2 questions. One, what was the genesis for you to bring second right here, we're going to have another show party at the Red Monkey.
So, a little background on this. My buddy and I have a winery called Knocking Point, which is Knocking Point with no K, where you knock an arrow on the bow. And we had Jim Lee design a label, and I think we're going to do a comic book. It's weird. That's possible. But my buddy Drew is from Walla Walla, and his family's there, and our relationships are there. So we like having the winery there. Now, I did a viewing party at a bar called the Red Monkey in Walla Walla, and it was the episode that Moira died. And it was really cool having like 200 people there for the viewing party, but I kind of wanted to get on the microphone beforehand and go, hey guys, it's maybe not the most celebratory episode. and everybody was looking at me when it was all over like I had misled them. But hey, listen, if we are back in Walla Walla next year for a party, which is our plan, and we're there for a Wednesday, we will absolutely do a viewing party. That was a blast. It was really cool. Thank you.
How's it going?
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
A couple thoughts, one question. First of all, I've been reading comics for years, and you're doing a great job as Oliver Queen and Green Arrow, so thank you for bringing
Thank you.
Also, I'm one of your 2 million Facebook followers. I want to congratulate your mom on
Thank
your
you.
cancer.
Hey, if I can take a moment, I posted a picture of my mom and I a couple of days ago, and it was her 1-year anniversary of being cancer-free. Thank you. I said thank you on the Facebook page, but the comments and the number of likes and shares and just well wishes, stuff like that fills my heart up and it fills her heart up. And to everyone that follows me on that page and who was instrumental in making her feel that way, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
So, this is the same question I asked Matthew Bennett yesterday. He talked a lot about the stunt choreography and what you can and can't do and all that, but you all still stay pretty fit. You all have a lot of project to do.
Yeah.
Who's in the best shape out of all of you and your own castmates?
I am.
He had a good answer. I just want to let you know that. So.
He's entitled to his opinion. Look, I'm not the one that's in a prison on Leanne Yu, okay? I won that battle. I'm not taking off my shirt. I'm on vacation.
Take off your pants.
Thank you, man.
So, I'm wondering, what, voodoo ritual or human sacrifice did you guys
Wait a minute, hang on. Okay, I don't know what's going on right now, but this is the weirdest intro to a question I've ever had.
It'll make more sense in a minute.
Okay.
How did you guys break the curse of Summer Glau? You got season 3 after having Summer. I mean, she's been on some great shows, but after she's on there, they get canceled.
I think the long-winded answer to that is that, Summer is obviously a wonderful, wonderful actor, and I think that it was just circumstantial. You know what I mean? That would be the long-winded answer. The short-winded answer is we broke her neck before the season was over. I love Summer, by the way. She and I are really good friends, but yeah, she'll find her footing. I have no doubt.
First of all, I just want to thank you for coming here. I know filming starts in a month, so this is your vacation. And I'm here for you, not Nathan, so just want to point that out.
Thank you.
Representing DC, and the community was great. The question I have about you and the show is the big 3. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Out of those 3, who would you want to see, whether it's just a cameo or a guest appearance, come into Arrow?
Batman. Always Batman. Yeah, we'll get Rob. We had this idea that my cousin Robbie, who's the biggest Batman fan on the planet, and I'm saying this in a room full of Batman fans. His password for everything is Bruce Wayne something. Don't tell him I said that. His Facebook pseudonym is Bruce Wayne. All this is all true. But we always had this joke that we would get him to come on the show, and you know, I just walk by him and he'd stop me and he'd go, "Hey Oliver, how you doing?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm doing well, Bruce." And we'd chat for 1 second, and then that would be over. So that would be pretty cool. That'd be really cool. I know that he would do it for free. We'll see. Yeah, man.
Nice to see you again.
By the way, so in between panels, this guy was walking out. What was your name again? I'm sorry?
Trevor.
Trevor. And I saw his shirt and I just pushed him on the chest. He was like, "Hey, oh."
That literally just made my weekend. Well, first I'd like to say thank you for such a huge Facebook presence. All my friends love it. They speak so highly of it and just go, "Wow, this guy's just awesome." And he needs to keep it up and keep doing it.
Thanks, man.
Also, my question is, how do you think that you and Grant will eventually get to the JLA?
The Justice League?
Yeah. And F Cancer.
What's that?
F Cancer.
And F Cancer. Thank you, man. The Justice League movie. The guy that I trained with at Tempest was actually just up there shooting Batman vs. Superman, and he told me secrets. I will not. Everybody turn off your cameras. You know what, I don't know. I think that the people that watched the Flash pilot that have seen it and saw the scene where Grant and I interact, he's not even in his costume. You know, a lot of people are like, "Well, that feels like the Justice League." You know, I thought that it felt like the Justice League too. So I don't know if we'll eventually cross over into the movies, but you know, that being said, we don't need to. You know, the important part is it's important that Arrow and the Flash are able to stand on their own and be appreciated for what they are in the medium that they are in. And if they wanted me to be in the Justice League movie and it worked out, that would certainly be something that I would be interested in. That being said, my most important and crucial priority is making season 3 better than season 2. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Justin's my buddy. There's all these people ripping friends of mine up here. What are you doing?
Hey, man. Hey, I heard, like, or I saw on Facebook that you have a winery and you made Vertigo wine. Will you be coming up with the Mirakuru wine?
It's not the worst idea. What would it be, like 33% alcohol? And a little bit of Red Bull? And a dash of methamphetamine? We were gonna have Vertigo wine, and a winery from Italy emailed us and said, "Cease and desist." We're like, really? And we got in touch with our lawyer, and the lawyer was, "Really?" So it's actually now going to be Verdant House Wine. True story, true story. But the label's the same. I know, it's shit. But,